What is happening, mate? So you've clicked on this because you're interested to know on hormones, and so you should be, because I feel like us birds, we know more about crime scene investigations. You know what I mean? If a mass murder happens, they should call you up. You've watched every crime documentary on Netflix there is. You know everything. You're like, her at the start, see her hair, it was on the couch. So I know, listen, you're not daft, but when it comes to female health, it's very confusing, and it's very confusing for a lot of reasons, right? The wellness industry, it's not good. Fitness and health and wellness, all like in a pick a mix of people that can make money from you when you feel vulnerable, not things backed by science, like made up shit in that bag, and we're consuming it. So you can be watching something on Instagram that's like that. Your belly is because of cortisol levels. I don't know why I went really Scottish there, but it seemed appropriate. Aye, lassie, that cortisol belly of yours. Here's a cocktail to drink and it'll go away. Right? And then the next one we'll hear like, cortisol belly? Nah, you just like to pick the fridge at night. You know what they say, fridge pickers wear big knickers. Do you know what I mean? So there's all this like mismatch of information, and then in between that we're feeling a certain type of way because hormones, and it's very hard to put the puzzles together. That's what I do, it's what I help with. In the community of women, we all share stuff. So someone's talking about, oh, I take 2 pumps of estrogen, or I've got this progesterone, and it's a safe space to share. So honestly, just reach out. This isn't a sales video, it's a video to help you, because I've been in a situation where my hormones were fucked. But you know, I don't like to hard sell. Like, I'm not door-to-door sales. I'm not the Avon. I don't need to pull you in. If I wanted fast cash, I'd sell pictures of Stacey's feet. But I'm not interested in that. I really want to help women, because I do feel like there's an injustice. I feel like we've been left behind. We've been left out of studies. I mean, women have only been involved in studies with health and fitness since 1994. That's a shocker, innit? So then we do things like what I'm going to tell you in this video about what I did, and it did crush my hormones. But because things haven't been tested on us, you know, we're given this low calorie range to stick to, like 1,200 calories, and it's what a 4-year-old needs to survive. Like, you need to remember, calories aren't just being burned like as if it's fat we're always doing and we're eating. Like, we have calories to survive, like nourishment, gut health, skin, hair, energy, thoughts, hormones, our central nervous system. Do you ever feel hangry? You feel like a raging bitch because you're starving. You're like, don't talk to me, I don't feel myself until I eat something. Exactly. So what we're doing with 1,200 calories, and this is a real concern as well for people on any weight loss medication, that you are malnourishing yourself. So if you are on something like that, use it to clear the decks, use it for what you're needing it, but then you need to start to understand that you need to nourish yourself, get to the root cause of the reason why you're on it in the first place. So back years ago, when I was a crazy bastard, right? Undiagnosed, all kinds, whatever was going on there. But I really, really punished myself when it came to exercise, right? I was one of those people who would eat something and then exercise it off. Do you know what I mean? Like, look at the exact calories on the watch, like, right, okay, I've nearly burnt off those 15 almond nuts that I had this morning for my breakfast and lunch. Okay, we're good to go. Like, I was doing stuff like that. Very toxic. But when you're in that situation, right, there's an old Scottish story, right? And it's about this wee goblin that has a red hat, but the red hat is blood, right? But it only can stay alive if it keeps killing to keep the hat red. And that's a story about how when you're in something toxic, that it's very difficult to break that cycle. And I found that it was really tough. The more I tried to break it, maybe the more push and pull I got. I was falling further and further down, and the walls were very slippy. I was just going from one thing to another thing. But the main theme that ran across it was punishment, restriction, confusion. and that was back before social media. Like, I was just on the internet reading things, looking up fitness models that were on these diets, like have 3 egg whites, cottage cheese and a protein shake, and that'll do you for the day. Train twice though. Like, so what it did is it floored one of my hormones, progesterone. Now, it didn't do well for my estrogen either, but progesterone and estrogen, they've got this kind of relationship where they're perfect for each other, right? So like estrogen's the kind of like steroid hormone that's a bit chaotic, and if you're going through perimenopause, this is the hormone that's going like that. And it's a bit unpredictable, like you when you've had a couple of glasses of wine now that you're over 35. So progesterone and estrogen go together. And if you are on HRT, you'll probably be on some sort of combination, and that would be right. So my progesterone slammed down. Why is that? Because stress really affects it, because it's basically your body, your brain going like that to the ovaries. Whoa, this is something absolutely batshit crazy is going on. I wasn't eating, I was malnourished, I was over exercising, I was punishing myself, I was in the food jail. So my brain's like that, no, these ovaries need to stop. They need to stop, because this is not the right environment to fall pregnant if that's going to happen. Right, it's a safety mechanism for your body. So my progesterone floored. I started to get symptoms of that, which was super like anxiety off the scale, right? Combining that with intrusive thoughts, like neurodivergent stuff going on. I was a real train wreck, and I was self-medicating every night, like not in a good way at all, damaging to my health and very not in alignment with what I was actually meant to be about, and that was health. When did everything get so mismashed up that I was so focused on the thinness and the shape that I lost my period for 3 years and didn't stop to go, that's not right, man, that's not okay, because it was toxic, and like I say, it just breeds. So progesterone, feeling anxious, waking up, like just not getting a good sleep, but also a combination of low carbs, like see when you low carb, as if it's fucking 1998, hello dream phone. Well, I was on the low carb diet, or like no carbs after 6 a.m. in the morning, I think I was doing all that chat, back in the day. So no carbs meant that I wasn't getting a good, decent sleep, because carbs are like, they release some serotonin. That's why here in the winter in Scotland, when it's dark nights, be like a wee bowl of mashed potato. You like a wee slice of toast before your bed, you get a wee serotonin boost and you would get a better sleep, right? So I was having none of that. I was body popping in my bed, man. I was just waking up at 3 in the morning like, whoo. Like, I was not feeling well. And then obviously the next day, I've been awake since 3. So I'm going to take some hardcore stimulants in the form of illegal fat burners imported from China. So I'd be taking them to get me through like my crazy workouts. They also suppress the appetite, so again, less eating. But my anxiety was getting worse. I was getting like heart palpitations. I was getting the dreads, like, that horrible dread feeling. My tits were killing me, like, I could hardly move. See, when I rolled over in bed, I was like, 2 minutes. Or like sometimes going round the roundabout, I was like, I can't let my elbows touch these tits. Agony, like trying to burn off those almond nut calories on the cross trainer. I was having to hold them like that. This is a struggle. So I had that. So a big shit sandwich basically I had on my hands here. And, I was getting thinner, but it came with a lot of binges as well. So I would sometimes just plateau out. I'm kind of going, right, I'm eating fucking hardly anything here. Like, I'm eating egg white out of a carton. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not even eating a normal egg white, and I'm not losing weight as quick as I think I should be. The reason for that is because with maybe 5 days of restriction came 4 days of binging as well. So in the car eating the birthday cake on a non-birthday day, or sometimes it was congratulations, you've passed your driving test. I'm like in the car, passed my driving test. So it was just like balancing out. So my efforts of being so restrictive in the food jail, what happens is you break out the food jail, and it's like you girls when you go to that bonkers bingo, you're fucking mental. You're on the tables dancing because you mods don't get out much. So when you break out the food jail, that kind of thing happens too, but then you're straight back in it. You're straight back in the restrictive, even more restrictive food jail. You know, the wee room in the jail you go and it's only you there. That sometimes happens. So you can get more restrictive. And then where'd you go from more restrictive? I was on 1,200 calories, crashing my hormones, my appetite out of control. Where do you go for there? Did I go 900? Did I go 800? I got as low as about 600 calories a day, combining that with hashtag fasting, which is just probably a glorified eating disorder. I think the same of bulking and cutting as well. Like, what are these terms that we use? So fasting as well, and coffee enemas. Like, what was up there to shit out? Fuck all. A Rivita? You're going to shit out a fucking Rivita? Because that's all you've ate for 2 days. So the hormones meant no periods. I wasn't getting... Progesterone's your kind of calming hormone. It's like releases something called GABA. It's chilling. It's like that. Let's be rational about this situation. Do you really want to leave your man? I know you're looking up flats on Rightmove right now, but I don't know if you should leave him or we should wait like a couple of days till you've had your period. You know, like progesterone's that. Progesterone's the thing that helps you sleep. You go to your bed and it's not suddenly like, in 1994, did Jerry wear that dress? What was that about? Should I have charged them that amount of money at the tuck shop when I was in primary school? I overcharged her. I'll need to text her. I'll need to find her on Instagram now and tell her I took 10 pence off her that I shouldn't have at fucking 12:30. And you're like, right, so progesterone helps you get that good quality sleepy time. And when you're not getting it, and you might notice this even come at your period or if you're perimenopausal, that your sleep is now starting to get disrupted. It's all round not good. Like, if anything, I hope you're picking up the vibe that my approach to health and fitness now is, I don't want to say balanced, but not unhinged, you know? I help women break out that food jail because it's very miserable, it's very limiting in there, you know. I didn't go on holiday for like 5 years because I couldn't control the food and the training there, so I missed out. I missed out on a lot of things with relationships, with going out for dinners, enjoying life, do you know what I mean? I was out raving offs because I didn't eat for 3 days. That suited me. Marching on the spot for 9 hours like that. It's alright. 1 million calories I've burnt. Do you know what I mean? That was fine. That was cool. So, but you can see that spiral. And what was really getting to me was, okay, my shape, but my mental health felt terrible. Genuinely, I'd be sitting watching the telly, but I'm not watching the telly. I'm like having intrusive thoughts of planning people's funerals or something else crazy, and it would make me feel so fucking horrible. I just wanted to switch my thoughts off, and every single night I had it. It started happening during the day. It was all consuming. I just wasn't in a good place. I looked lean. I was like, yes, look at my collarbones, but I didn't feel good. And I think there is a blurry line, and especially in today's society, like, of looking a certain way. Like, are we setting standards for ourselves that we can't ever get to or maintain enjoyably? Is that where our focus is going? Like, who are we doing these things for? So obviously coming from a very place of punishment and really wrecked my hormones, I had to reverse it back, because not having a period, especially when you're at that age, you know, being a fertile age, I should have been having a period. When we get to perimenopause, obviously it's sporadic, and sometimes you'll have 2 periods in 1 month. That's the way the jobby splashes sometimes. So I had to think, right, what am I going to do to reverse this? So I had to fucking payback time. It was payback time. I had to start eating food that was going to nourish my body. And for me, things like my hair and my skin is important, you know, and I could see like the white of my eye was looking dull, my skin wasn't great, my hair didn't feel good, it was very like that. And I was like, no. Not only that, I was catching colds every 2 weeks. So having to train through feeling like you've got the cold all the time wasn't good. People, friends and family were worried about me, would say, my mum would be like, what the fuck, you're ill again? Like, this isn't normal. But bearing in mind, I'm not nourishing myself. Down there in your gut health is where your immune system is. So if you've got poor gut health, you've got probably a poor immune system. But I wasn't feeding any good gut bacteria. Do you know what I mean? We living on fucking dust and coffee enemas. There is no nutrients there. So I had to reverse all that. I had to do a reverse diet, which took a lot of time. And it's a very baby step process, and there was lots of relapses. So when I'm working with women inside our community, it kind of looks like this. And the food jail can be different for everyone. The food jail is not necessarily very restrictive. It can be the other way, where you're like a signer-upper of things. You start diets all the time. You've done everything. You've got hundreds of, the graveyard of shake cups with no lids, and you've done it all, man. You could write a fucking diet book. And that could be your food jail. The food jail comes when you press the fuck it button, and then what happens after that. So what I help women with is, we're in the food jail, it's fucked up and shite. But then we take some small micro changes, very small steps, very subtle. Takes a bit of time with my coaching, and some people don't like to hear that. Then maybe it's not for you. Maybe a 6-week shred to, end up back here in fucking 2 years. Who knows? But they don't work, right? They work for coaches because it's a bit of quick cash in it, and then they get you in a picture in your pants, and then a picture of you in a pair of pants that are smaller, and then they can put it on their Instagram and catch the next victims that are sitting feeling shit about themselves to sign up for something that we know isn't going to work. I'm all about health and long-term results. So the food jail is something you need to really work on, and it takes patience. So, and people, excuse me, hi, I'd like to book flights to Turkey, please. Yes. Mummy makeover, thank you. No, but listen, the way I do it, it's well worth it. I love to feel good, my hormones feel decent, and I help other women with that. And especially at a time in your life, see when you get to be an old bird, you want to be strong, because see if you end up in a chair when you're older and you can't get up from that chair, that's probably the last chapters of your life, right, in a chair. Whereas you want to be strong and fit so that you can enjoy things right up until you're an old person. Like, we grow old, but you don't need to get old. Do you know what I'm saying? So we start in the food jail, and it's very restrictive, and it feels like there's just no way out. Then I help women get to what I call the tag, the food jail tag. You're out, but you're on parole, and you can still have a wee slip up, and it just puts you right back there, and you're back sitting in your circle meeting. The circle meeting's the coffee morning that we have every Sunday. It is a sharing circle. I don't call it an AA meeting to them, but I call it the unhinged meeting. That's our coffee morning. So by listening to other people's experiences, usually by getting support, whether that's a coach that's really good, or your friends and family, and tell them that you're going to be doing this. I'm going to be doing this. I'm just going to make these wee micro changes. Because see, you're a busy bird and you've got loads of life admin going on. How would you then deal with me handing you a 440 page book of rules of this new diet and new training plan that you need to fit into your life? How many times have you heard that? Do you say that? I need to fit. I hear it all the time. If I had a penny, you know what I mean? I'd still do this job because I feel bad for you. But I hear it all the time. I can't fit it in. I can't fit health in. That's why it has to be very small, subtle. And a lot of my girls will say that. Like, I feel like I've not done much for this. They have. They've just done it very slowly. And also when you do things slowly, this is a pro tip, by the way. When you fall off the wagon, everybody falls off. Very dangerous. You don't fall as far because you've made wee micro changes up to that point. So you just, nearly fell there, but I'm all right. So then you get better at recognising what's happening, and you've got the tools to fix it, and you've got the support. So you're on a tag, right? And you'll be in and out, you'll be like, I fucked it. But, I normally talk them round, or if you've got somebody else you can just vent to. Then we go to community service. We're on community service now, food jail community service. And that's usually when you're getting better, but it's something you still need to work on. There's still a wee niggle in you that goes, we could just do hundreds of cardio and eat 1,000 calories a day. Can you though? Then what about Christmas, your birthday, your ma's birthday, your Wayne's birthday, your man's birthday, Easter, Valentine's Day, Tuesday, Wednesday? What about all these days where you can't eat that because it's not sustainable? See, restriction. Now this is a fucking golden quote. Restriction kills consistency because you just can't keep it up. And you think you're hardly eating, but you actually are, because you're picking, you're fucking get hundreds of food noise, because food noise will come when you're starving yourself, by the way, or food noise will come out of just habit, boredom. You need to break these cycles. It does take a wee bit of work, but it's definitely worth doing. And then the final stage, which is what I'm doing to you right now, I'm back in the food jail, but I'm giving talks. I'm giving talks to break other women out of the food jail because I've been there. As I said, I lost my period, I lost my fucking mind. Mental health was in the bin. My self-esteem felt terrible because the more I actually did the exercising and was getting thinner, the more actually I had away. My self-esteem was rock bottom because I actually wasn't taking care of myself. And when you're not taking care of something, naturally you probably think, well, it's not worth taking care of. But then that thing is yourself. So it can become quite a bad cycle. And you might feel in a rut and you might feel like, I don't recognise the person who is standing in front of me in the mirror. I don't know who she is anymore. You'll get a Facebook memory that flashes up and you're like, who the fuck's that? I don't recognise her. I don't feel like her anymore. You know, so I'm about helping women get that big vagina energy and getting that confidence. I hope this video has helped you, you know, realise that signing up for these crazy 12-week things, 6-week things, 8-week things, buying fat burners, doing things that cancel out what's really going on isn't going to be a long-term move. You have to kind of do the dirty work and then you get out the other side. And I can promise you that it can happen, but you do need to take a wee step in the right direction. You need to put a foot in front of the other and actually do something. I help loads of women do it, so it's not like I've only done it in a couple and I'm not sure if it's going to work. I fucking did this for 150 years. It's just a good ring light I've got. So yeah, I hope I've talked you out of any crazy eating, and we can enjoy our lives and we can enjoy food. We don't need to punish ourselves with exercise and diets. You know, you can't misery your way to health. Thank you so much. Let me know how you found this video. And if you want to reach out for any of the coaching, we have 3 things: the foundations, the signature package, which is the KP method, and we've got our big boona with the Chinese doctor and myself combined. So if you want to get a chat with me, see what the prices are and see which one would be right for you, because I'm just wanting to align with you. I want you to get results and I want you to feel excited about it. But you need to kind of chat to me first. Just a wee text or something. Right, okay, take care. Stay out the food jail.